Hello YouTube, it's been a while. Welcome back, or welcome. The intention of this video was to show you an exciting day in my life as an entrepreneur. Looking back at the video and having had a 2-week retreat in the mountain made me realize how anxious and depressed I was during this whole day. So, disclaimer, I'm not a mental health professional. I am a mental health advocate. So this video is just to raise awareness about depression, high functioning depression, anxiety, but please do not use it as medical advice. Do not self-diagnose yourself through this video. I'm just sharing my experience. If you need professional help, everything is linked below. So, the new intention for this video is to show you how beautiful and exciting my external life can look while my internal dialogue was so negative and I was going through so much internal turmoil, but I just didn't realize because I was just back on this pattern of productivity, of anxious productivity, where I gotta do more, I gotta be better, I gotta heal, I gotta work on my self-development, I gotta be a good friend, I gotta be a good daughter, I gotta be a good sister, I gotta be a good spiritual person, I gotta be a good coach, a good entrepreneur, and it just never ends, you know? And you'll see throughout this video that after every activity that I did, even though it was great and I was producing amazing work, I was still so hard on myself and I was constantly just trying to do the next thing and get to the next thing. And I didn't give myself time, I didn't give myself grace to truly be proud of my progress. And I hope that this video can inspire you to take a moment to just stop and pause and reflect on all the wonderful things that you have already done this whole entire year before moving on to the next thing. Another intention for this video is also to invite all of you overachievers to be vulnerable when you're struggling, because I thought I was all alone in Bangkok and I felt like I didn't have the right to fall apart. I didn't have the right to show the world how much I was suffering and how burnt out I was as a workplace well-being expert. And it's really hard when you're working in this field, when you're guiding people and facilitating people, to truly admit what's going on internally. But ultimately, it's not about workplace perfection. It's about knowing how to come back to balance when you're off balance. And only when I went up to my safe space in Bai, I realized how depressed and anxious I've been in Bangkok for months. And I literally just fell apart there. And I am so grateful for all the wonderful friends and teachers who picked me back up when I was falling apart. I didn't realize how much love and support I had in my life until I truly show my vulnerability. And safe spaces can be something that is really hard to find these days, especially when you're in a big city like Bangkok. So I'm so excited to share with you that I've created a safe space for creatives, entrepreneurs, and change makers. We're going to be diving deep in a one-day workshop with 2 other facilitators who have been in the entertainment business for decades from LA, as well as my 2 dear mentor monks, Lumpy Nick and Lumpy Michael. I really hope that this is a space where overachievers can come and fall apart and also empower each other with integrated tools and just have a lot of fun together through the healing process, because healing can be fun. It doesn't always have to be heavy. And the Buddha did say that having spiritual friends is 100% of the path. So if you're interested, you can scan the QR code. All the links will be below with all the schedule and all the details, and I hope to see you on November 19th. But if you're not in Bangkok and you can't make it, I hope that this video can inspire you to just take a moment to stop and take care of yourself, because sometimes prioritizing your needs, prioritizing what your heart desire, and just stopping and not doing anything can be the most productive thing you can do for your healing journey, for your self-development journey, and even for your business and purpose. All right, enjoy my day of being anxiously productive.
Explain something.
So when you're constantly being reminded that you're inadequate, that you're not good enough, and you're being presented the solution that if you get this nose job or this breast augmentation, then you'll feel better about yourself and you'll live a happier life, it's this constant chase that never ends. I'm so rusty on camera right now. This is why I need to continue to do YouTube, so that I can gather my words and not stutter when I'm in front of the camera. But also I realized that I was trying to be the director. Like, I'm not the director. Why was I still trying to think about the big picture? I do that all the time. I try to be everything for everyone, and I end up not doing the thing that I was supposed to do in the best of ability because I'm busy trying to be the director. When the most important thing for me to do was to be the talking head and to flow and to talk and to just like not worry about how my words would come out, because I'm not the one editing it. I'm not the one shaping the story. And I think that's what got me kind of like stressed a little bit. And then when the cameras turned off, I was like flowing. I was just like saying a bunch of things that I should have said in the documentary. And I gave this really awesome analogy. It's like being in a toxic relationship because you'd rather not be alone. And actually being alone is the thing that is healthier for you. It might not be the easiest option, but it's definitely mentally healthier for you. And instead of learning to be alone, you continue to be in toxic relationships just to kind of like cover that gaping wound, that gaping hole that you have inside of yourself. And that's essentially what plastic surgery is like. It's this relationship of the way you look. It's this constant chase of how you want to look. We mistaken looking better and looking prettier as self-care, when actually it's just us investing in temporary pleasures as opposed to long-term, long-lasting well-being for ourselves, which means addressing the wound at the core of its problem. So this is an invitation. I don't know why my camera's doing that, but anyway, it's like a zoom in, zoom out effect. So this is an invitation for you to take a deep breath. And know that that external validation that you're seeking for will never be fulfilled by other people, by external means, because you cannot fix an internal problem through external means. You can only fix an internal problem through internal solutions. And for me, self-love, self-compassion, self-acceptance is the key. You know, it's okay for you to look puffy, for you to have blemishes on your face. Learn to see that neutrally first, and then learn to embrace it. You don't have to love it. Just learn to see it neutrally and not allow those imperfections to drive your thoughts, speech, emotion, and action. Let's start there. So we just finished with the workshop, and I'm feeling a little bit disappointed in myself, but also grateful, that I get to have this kind of space to grow. Not only grow my business, but also grow my skills. I feel like I really needed to brush up on my communication skills, and that seems to be the theme of today. Perhaps it's because I've been in my head a lot the past few weeks, because I've just been at home working. I haven't really socialized. I've spoken to people. So everything made sense in here. But when I say it, I felt like there were a little confusing faces in the room. I just feel like I can do better, and I'm feeling a little bit annoyed with myself. But I also know that that's an old pattern that I'm trying to shift. I've been running in this pattern of you gotta do better, you can do better, and of course I can do better. Of course, things can be better. Of course, my deck can be more refined. The way I communicate can be a little bit more polished, but I really need to learn to see things neutrally, and that's what I've really been practicing, to see that, okay, things can be better, and okay, I feel a little bit bad about myself. Okay, there's this little negative thought telling myself that, I'm not good enough, and it's making me feel really bad. And this is a thought that has been running the show for so long, and we just got to be aware of it, Be aware that I'm not good enough is still deeply embedded within me when I'm working, when I care about things, when I want things to turn out the way I want it to turn out and it doesn't. This I am not good enough dialogue is still within me. It's not as prevalent, but it's still within me. And the first step is just to become aware of it. And the second step is to shift the mindset of actually, I did enough with what I have. I did enough with what I had on my plate, and I really gave it my all today. I gave it my best today. And that's what we spoke about in the workshop today too, where what if your best was your balance? And today, this is my balance. This was all I could give with everything that I had on my plate, everything that I had in my business. I really did my best today. I already feel good about it. I already feel good just shifting that mindset and, debunking the fake news that my subconscious is spreading in my head. And so that's shifting our patterns cognitively, right? We can also shift our pattern through actions as well. So before, I would allow this I am not good enough to consume me emotionally, physically, and then I'll continue to beat myself up. But then now that we're aware of it, we can just neutrally observe it. It's there, it's still there, but don't let it define me. I'm not allowing this to define me, and I'm not allowing it to define the rest of my day either. So even though I'm giving myself grace for the fact that I really did my best with what I have today, that doesn't mean that I can't improve my communication skills. And for me, the easiest way to improve my communication skills is through reading. I've fallen off the reading habit wagon after reading Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. That book was so incredibly addicting, and it brought me so much joy. I learned so much. Since that book, I've picked up 4 books, and it's just not sticking. So we're gonna go book shopping. Yay, my favorite way to spend money. We're gonna go grocery shopping, and then we're gonna go have dinner. Let's go.
It's my second day back in Bangkok and I'm feeling anxious again. Yesterday I woke up and I had all these just explosion of things I have to do because I took 2 weeks off essentially. Yeah, there were emails, client communications here and there, but I wasn't really working because I was going through a mental breakdown. And everything is catching up, because all the things that I didn't do for the past 2 weeks I have to do. And it just got so hard to breathe. And I had coffee and I didn't have a healthy breakfast, so that didn't really help because I don't usually drink coffee. I just really wanted coffee because I was like, so I can go. And this is a mistake that I do all the time. This is something that I also have to remind myself that productivity also looks like internal growth. It doesn't always look like external progress, but it also looks like internal progress. And I've been making a lot of internal progress, and now it's time to balance slowly, integrate back all the external progress. But today I had a really productive 3-hour brainstorm session. I'm gonna work on the deck, and I posted a reel today, posted one reel yesterday, all having fun with it. Emailed a couple of clients, and I was supposed to go to dinner tonight, but I was like, I think I'm just gonna go to the onsen. And I was gonna judge myself again. It's like, but you just went to the spa 2 days ago. But that's what I really need right now, and I'm not gonna judge myself for it. So yeah, gonna take things slow. So many things to integrate in the past 2 weeks. I really got to look at my abandonment wounds from childhood and how that was spewing out into, my work when my team, my core team, 2 people actually, they were going through a really rough time mentally, and they weren't able to complete a task that I had asked of them, and I felt like I was suffering from a heartbreak in Pi because of this abandonment wound, and I felt like I couldn't be angry at them. I felt like I didn't have the right to. We're a workplace well-being space and I should be understanding, but I wasn't doing that in balance. I was just suppressing my emotion and just honoring theirs, And if we look at the Prakaya scale, it's on one side, I'm really, really honoring their mental health, but I was completely abandoning myself. So that was kind of one of the fuel to the fire that was the past 2 weeks. But everything really subsided when I got to release. I got to cry. I got to acknowledge how I was really feeling. I got to purge. I was falling apart in Pi. And thank you so much for picking me back up. You know who you are. Just thank you to Pi, the valley that is hugged by the mountains. I just felt so held by the mountains. And yeah, just feel really, really good about it. And anyway, what I was saying was what happened at work really got me reflecting on my internal patterns and how much attachment I have to my team, to all these stories, to this belief that I am unlovable and no one's gonna help me and I'm on my own. And I just had to really look at those wounds and address them. And I did that. I had a really open and honest chat with my dad, and I felt so loved, so supported by him. And ultimately, it was just that little Emmy bear, my inner child, who just felt so abandoned growing up when no one understood her and that she was all alone and she just needed love. And the love that she needed the most was from me, and I wasn't giving that to her because, again, looking at the balance scale, on one hand, I was just completely abandoning myself to serve my purpose. and I had mistaken my purpose for myself. Again, codependency. You know, I was so dependent on my purpose because I've always been such a career and impact driven person, because my career is not, I'm not just trying to make money. Of course, I'm trying to create a successful business financially, but that's not the driver at all. That's not to say that I don't want a comfortable life. I very much love being comfortable, and I do have a certain standard of lifestyle that I want to live and upkeep, but the true driver of my career is that impact. I want to create impact. I want to make this world a better place, and I want to be able to shift systems so that it serves as many people as possible. And while that is a part of honoring who I am and my needs, it is honoring who I am becoming in the future as opposed to who I am in the present moment. And the past few months, I've just been abandoning my present self for this future version of myself that I'm working towards. And it's just been off balance, you know, so many things have been off balance. Like, just haven't been taking care of myself internally, because I felt like I didn't have a choice, but I do, just like today. So I am proud of myself for, instead of pushing, let's create videos, let's go out, let's go see friends, let's honor other people, let's honor my value. I'm going to honor myself, and I am going to go down and have a really delicious meal, which I ordered, and cancel all plans. And I'm gonna go to the onsen and take my time integrating everything that I've learned the past 2 weeks, all the healing that I've done, the abandonment wound that I have healed so much from, that I had the courage to look at. It was so painful. And I'm still feeling remnants of anxiety from that, of not feeling enough. But I know that as long as I have myself and I just am honest with myself, and I take the time to talk things out with myself, with my friends, with my loved ones, and that I continue to be proud of my progress while still balancing that goal, that big vision, you know? But really, truly take the time to listen to what I need. I'll be okay. And I'm already feeling so much better. Whew.